They're going backwards. Slip to the left-hand side. It's Mendy now. Mendy with a bendy. Oh, he's in there, Griezmann! Griezmann could have won it for the French in Euro 2024. And there it is. It's the full-time whistle. The French will lift up the trophy in Germany. Euro 2024 is bound. It's heading to the France once again. Or is it? That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we're going to simulate Euro 2024 100 times using Football Manager 2024, and I'll give you the results of that in just a second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for Euro 2024 is right here under one rooski. Of course, we're going to have predictions, we're going to have reviews, previews, all that kind of good stuff, but it all begins here with this cherry on top, and that is this Football Manager 2024 simulation. We'll get to that in a minute. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, subscribe, boys and girls. Now, in a minute, I'll showcase you the results of this simulation, but I wanted to showcase you the stuff behind me. This is the live groups or the real groups that we will see in this tournament in the summer. Now, out of the box, or with the download, there is a download that has these groups out there. The German team is kaput. It is a problem. It's a licensing problem. It's the same with the Japanese, but I have managed to get a fix to get the actual German team in the in this setup, in this experiment, because this is the second time I did this, because I noticed too late that the German team was not there, and we want to give them, because I'm German, a good fair crack of the whip. So this is the real scenarios. The only little shenango with this is the games played are in a different sequence. I know Germany kicks off their tournament against the Scots, but that's the only scenario that differs. Of course, the path to the knockouts is completely the same. So, folks, so you can see the format we've got here. We've got the real teams in the real groups, and of course the path to the knockouts is exactly the same that we will experience in the real world when this tournament kicks off on June the 14th. What I'm going to showcase you now is the results, and I'm going to come at you country by country order all the way through the 24, and then reveal them all together in some nice charts to see the likelihood of where each and every country will finish at the end of this tournament. So hold on tight, get your popcorn, and enjoy the ride. Albania, of course, we did do 104 simulations. There was like a little extra ones in there just to make sure that we got through it. Let's take a look at Albania then. Of course, they qualified. Actually, they didn't. This is the elimination now. They got eliminated out of the 104 simulations. They got eliminated at the group stages 92 times. But realistically, I think we kind of expected that, or you should expect that from Albania when you look at the group that they're in. Of course, they made the knockouts, or they got eliminated at the knockouts 12 times. That's, of course, the knockouts as a whole. We're talking about last 16, quarterfinals, etc., etc. We're going to break that down now, of course. So Albania knocked out in the knockouts 12 times. They got eliminated at the last 16, 6 of those 12. And of course, the quarterfinals, they made the quarterfinals at least 6 of the occasions as well. They never made it past the quarterfinals in any of the 104 simulations. So, according to my simulation, the best you can hope for is a quarterfinal finish, of course. We're now going to hop over to Austria. I think I'm having a bit better luck with Austria, but not the greatest. Again, they got eliminated 54 times in the group stages. The knockouts, they made the knockouts 50 of them. The last 16 elimination, 29 times they were eliminated in the last 16. The quarterfinals elimination, 15 of the occasions. They did get to the semi-finals, or at least get knocked out in the semi-finals 3 of the occasions. They made 2 runners-up appearances, and they won the Euros 1 of the 104 simulations that we took part. Kicking on forward to Belgium, of course, more of a powerhouse here. What about Belgium? How do they fare in my simulations? They got knocked out of the groups 4 of the 104 occasions, so pretty highly likely that they will not get eliminated in the group stages. They did make 100 of those knockouts. They did get eliminated 47 of those 100 knockout appearances. So 47 times they were eliminated there. They were eliminated 41 times at the quarterfinal stage, as well as 7 times in the semi-finals. They did become a runner-up twice, and they won it just 3 of the 104 times, of course. So right now, from the 3 nations that we've done so far, you can tell the Belgians are the supreme out of those 3. But we're going to get into more advanced territory now, where we take a look at Croatia. Of course, Croatia got an experienced core of team. Can they do the business here in Euro 2024? They got eliminated 17 times of the group stages, so not as good as the Belgians in that regard. They did make the knockouts 87 of those 104 occasions. They were eliminated at the last 16, 33 of those occasions. Quarterfinals, of course, 29 times they made their quarterfinals and were eliminated at that stage. Semi-finals, they were eliminated 17 times. They were runners-up 7 occasions, but they did win it just the once, of course. So still not as good as Belgium, still not as good as, well, I think probably equal to that of Croatia. What about the Czechs then? What can the Czechs hope for their tournament out in Euro 2024? They were eliminated 28 times in the group stages throughout my simulations. They did make the knockouts 76 occasions. They were eliminated, though, of those 66 times in the last 16 phase. They did make the quarterfinals 7 of those remaining 10. Semi-finals just the once eliminated there. They did make 2 finals, but they didn't win any of those finals, of course. So no success for Czech Republic. Meanwhile, the Danes, of course, formerly winners in the real world. Of course, they were eliminated 45 times in the group phase. They did make the knockouts 59 of those times. They were eliminated at the last 16, 40 of those 59. 14 quarter-final berths for them. It's not leaving them much room further down the pecking order. Semi-finals 3 times, of course, eliminated there. Finals twice. Did they win it? Could they add another one? No, they can't. They cannot add another trophy to the cabinet. They, of course, made the final twice, losing both of those. Now, England, I did notice that England were very, very dominant in this simulation process. They, of course, I can reveal now they did win a whole bunch, but did they win the most, of course? So England, they got knocked out twice out of the 104 simulations in the group phase. That's quite a low number. Knockouts, 102 of the 104. They were knocked out at the last 16 phase 13 times. They did progress to the quarterfinals, but were eliminated that phase in the final 8, 25 times. Semi-final elimination, 31 occasions for England. They did make it to the as a runner-up, 15 of those remaining occasions, but how many times did they lift the trophy out of the 104 occasions? Well, they did pick it up 18 times at the completing of my simulation process. So that's pretty good. That's the best so far. But next up, of course, it is a powerhouse. It is the French. We are coming at you in alphabetical order now. The French are juggernauts in European football and world football, and I do anticipate them to, of course, be going to take some doing. So let's take a look at the French. They were eliminated 5 times in the group phase, making 99 of the 104 simulations in this experiment here. They were eliminated 16 times at the last 16, 14 times at the quarterfinal stage. They were eliminated at the semi-final hurdle 13 times. Runner-up just 9 times, but they did win it. An impressive, a whopping 47 occasions out of the 104. Now I'll tell you how much percentage of that 104 is in favour of the French a little bit later on. But we're going to continue with the rest of these countries. See if your country is in there. Georgia, goodness gracious, we can't believe they're actually here. Not the state, it's the country. Georgia were eliminated of the 104 occasions, 95 of the times in the group phase. They did make the knockouts just 9, and of those 9, 7 of them they were eliminated at the last 16. But they did, of course, reach at least the quarterfinal stage twice. But of course, nothing more than that for Georgia. Germany, my boys, of course. Can they outdo the French? It's not looking good, really. But the Germans were eliminated 8 times at the group phase. They did make their knockouts, 96 of those 104. They were eliminated 40 times at the last 16, 24 occasions at the quarterfinal stage. Semi-finals, they were there, of course, eliminated 15 times. Runners-up 12 times, but they only managed to pick up 5 gongs at the end of the tournament. Next up, of course, it is Hungary. That's right, Hungary, of course, former juggernauts way back when, in yesteryear. They actually qualified at the groups, or group stage elimination 67 times of the course of the 104. They are in a tricky group. They did make the knockouts 37 occasions, eliminated 33 of those 37 occasions at the last 16, so it's not bodes well. 3 quarterfinal berths, for Hungary, but only could make the semi-finals and nothing better for them in the Euros. They are joined by Italianos, who got eliminated 10 times at the 104 simulations. They made the knockouts 94 occasions. Last 16 elimination, 26 times for Italy, current champions, of course. Quarterfinals eliminated 35 times. They did make at least the semi-final, or semi-final elimination 16 times, runners-up 10 times, but they did pick up the trophy a whopping 7 times, of course, which puts them in the middle amongst the leaders at the moment. Meanwhile, the Dutch, how can the Dutch do it? Well, we're going to have a look now, aren't we? They did get eliminated 26 times in the group phase knockouts. They made 78 of those. Eliminated the last 16, 22 times. They were knocked out at the quarterfinals 26 times. Of course, runners-up, semi-finals 18 times eliminated. Finals, they made the final runner-up 10 times, but they were champions just twice. They did manage to pick up a couple of titles, so can they do it in this tournament in Germany? We'll see about that. Meanwhile, the Polish, of course, eliminated 54 of the 104 times at the group phases, making just 50 knockouts for them. They were eliminated out of those 50, 24 times at the last 16 phase. Quarter-final stages, 17 times. Eliminated out of the semi-final stage, 8 times for the Polish. They were not runners-up, but they did pick up 1 gong, so the Polish have got a chance. They've got a sliver of a hope here. But what about the Portuguese? Well, I can tell you now, Ronaldo could be celebrating at the end of this tournament. He could add another gong to his ever-growing trophy cabinet. But Portugal did not make it out of the group stages just the one time. I do believe they do have a rather easy group. Of course, they did make 103 of the 104 knockout phases. Of course, they were eliminated, though, out of those 103, 51 times at the last 16. They were also eliminated at the quarter-final stage 14 times. They eliminated semi-finals 15 times for them, making a runners-up spot 13 times and lifting the trophy at the end of it. Do the math now. Just 10 to, well, an impressive 10 times. We'll see how that ranks, of course, with everybody at the end, unless you're keeping score. I don't know if you are or not. Romania, of course, another team surprised that they're here, but they are here. Of course, they do get knocked out 82 of the 104 simulations at the group phase. They're, of course, making just 22 of the knockout rounds. They were eliminated out of those 22, 20 times at the last 16, making 1 exit at the quarterfinal stage, 1 exit at the semi-final stage, but no final and no gong for Romania at the end of it. How about the Scots? Of course, I'm the other half. I am half German, half Scottish. How are they going to get on, of course? Well, they get eliminated 54 of the times at the group phase. They do make it to the knockouts 50 times to progress, but out of those 50, 41 of those occasions, they get knocked out at the last 16. However, they make 7 quarter-final berths, or eliminated at the quarter-final stage. They do make 2 semi-final situations, but that is it for the Scots. They'll take that all day long, though, wouldn't they? Would take that, a semi-final berth, all day long. What about Serbia, of course? Well, the Serbians, of course, get eliminated 38 times at the group phases. They get they make the knockout 66 occasions. Out of those 66, half of them they're knocked out of the last 16. 19 occasions they're knocked out of the quarter-final stages. 12 times they're knocked out of the semi-final stage. They do make 2 runners-up spots. Can you do the math? No, they don't pick up a trophy at their end of it. Goodness gracious me. They had a couple of shots there, though. A couple of little slivers. What about Slovakia, though? Slovakia get knocked out 48 of the 104 occasions at the group phase, making 56 knockout appearances. Out of those 56, they're knocked out 44 times at the last 16, knocked out 11 times at the quarterfinal stage, just 1 semi-final knockout. Do they make it any further than that? They do not. They don't pick up any silverware whatsoever. Knocked out the semi-finals. What about their brother from another mother, Slovenia? That's right. Of course, they get knocked out 55 of the 104 times at the group stages. Make the knockouts 49 occasions, and out of those 49, they're knocked out at the last 16 stage 35 times, making the quarter-final stage, or at least eliminated at that point, 13 times. Semi-final berth, elimination, 1 time, no final, no win whatsoever. Now a powerhouse, we have the Spanish. Let's have a look at them then, shall we? Of course, the Spanish just get knocked out just 9 times at the group stages for them, making 95 of the 104 knockouts in the simulations. They are knocked out at the last 16 stage 34 of those 95 times. They're knocked out at the quarter-final stage 35 times out of those remaining whatever's left. Semi-final knockout 14 times for the Spanish. They make a runners-up berth 7 times here, winning it an impressive 5 times. But again, where do they rank in the grand scheme of things? What about the Swiss? Now, the Swiss have been a surprise dark horse in this simulation. I was very impressed with their numbers. They do get knocked out 12 of the 104 times at the group stage. Tricky group as well in the real world. Of course, 92 knockouts for them. Last 16, 53 times knocked out there. They do make the at least eliminated at the quarterfinal stage 22 times. They were eliminated at the semi-final stage 11 times. It's quite good numbers there. They are runners-up 4 times, and they win it an impressive twice. Wow, wow, wee, wow. They are in the win column. It's better than a lot of other nations. What about Turkey? Another surprise package. The Turkish, they get knocked out just 16 times at the group stages, making 88 of the 104 knockouts, of course. Last 16 knocked out 53 times. The quarterfinals knocked out at 19 times. They make this, they eliminate it at the semi-final stage, 11 of those remaining numbers there. They are runners-up 3 times, and went backwards there, and they pick it up twice. Wow, wow, wee, wow. And of course, we wrap up the nations here, the 24th nation, with Ukraine, who of course get eliminated 14 times at the group phase. They make 90 of the knockouts there. Eliminated out of those 90, 60 times at the last 60s phase. At 20 times they're knocked out at the quarter-final berth. They, of course, runners or semi-finals knocked out 8 times, leaving 2 runners-up berths. They failed to pick up the trophy at the end of the simulations. That, my friends, is a quick taster of what we're talking about. Now, of course, we're going to showcase those numbers in a couple of quite a few tables here, so bear with me as we do a bit of a reveal. So first and foremost, let's have a look at this then, shall we? As we look at your elimination, of course, Georgia, a 91.35% likely to be eliminated at the group phase, of course, when you run through these simulations, whereas Portugal are a 0.96 not to make it. I'll flip these around in a minute. But your Georgia, your Albanias, your Romanias, your Hungary, Slovenias, they're the ones that are unlikely to get out of the group stages according to my simulations. Now again, I'll flip it around here. To make the knockout stages, Portugal are 99.04 likely to make the knockout stages. England are up there with 98%. Belgium are up there. The French, Germany is up there with 92.31, of course. And again, when you basically we're flipping that previous table around to showcase you who is more likely to go in and go out. All right then, folks, what about the chances of being eliminated at the last 16 phase? Well, the Czechs are more likely than anybody else to be eliminated at the last 16 phase. They're 63.46 likely to be eliminated at the stage. Same can be said for Ukraine, Switzerland, Turkey. Portugal are up there as well, quite surprisingly. Of course, the bigger boys down there, France are highly unlikely, England highly unlikely, Georgia and Albania are so unlikely because the likelihood that they'll be in the knockouts is so low. That's why they're so far down the pecking order. What about the quarterfinals then? Well, the more likely to get knocked out at this point of the competition will be Belgium. A 39.42% chance for them to be eliminated at the quarterfinal stages. So you're more than likely to see the Belgians make it to the last 8, but no further than that perhaps. Italy, of course, in that category, Spain, Croatia, Netherlands, England, Germany, the French again, so far down. They're down 13.46 to be eliminated at this phase because they have such a high win count. So we'll see that in a second. Now, this is, of course, a quick look at the graphic, a quarterfinal or more. So taking into account the quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, and of course, the championship. England, 85.58% chance to make it beyond the quarterfinal stage. France, Italy, Spain, the same are up there. Germany doing very, very well. Meanwhile, Romania all the way down there with Georgia, 1.92 to make it past the quarterfinal stage or more. What about eliminated at the semi-final berth? Well, England, of course, topped the charts there. 31 semi-final eliminations for them, which, of course, generated a 29.81% chance for them to be eliminated at the semi-final stage. The Dutch, 17.31% chance to be eliminated at this phase as well. They've got Croatia, Italy, Germany, Spain, France, still not really projecting up their numbers. And again, as you can see down there, Albania, Georgia, not ever getting to the semi-finals. So they've got a 0% chance to be be eliminated at this point because they don't make it. Meanwhile, semi-final or more, of course, for the big boys here, this is where France start to really show their quality. They make at least the semi-finals, the finals, and of course winning it a total of 69 of the 104 times, making a 66.35% chance that they'll make the semi-final or more in, of course, Euro 2024. England are up there as well with 64 semi-final or more situations. Portugal the next best, and that's a considerable jump down there. 36.54% chance for them to make the semi-finals or more. Italy and Germany in the Power 5. And again, down the foot here, you're looking at Hungary, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia. Basically just one semi-final out of the 104 simulations, which gives them a 0.96% chance to get to the semi-finals or more in this. What about, of course, eliminated at the final stages? Of course, let's have a look at them now. England topped the charts with them with 15 out of the 104 simulations where they were eliminated at the final. There, of course, they could taste the silverware, but they couldn't get over the line. So 14.42% chance to make it to the final and lose, of course. So not great numbers. The French just 9 runners-up spots for them. 8.65% chance to be eliminated at this point, of course. And let's take a look at those numbers together as of course, a final berth. Basically, the French make 56 final appearances for them out of the 104. England make 33 final appearances. Portugal are in the final 23 of the 104 simulations. The Germans and Italy, both 16.35% chance to make it to the final or more. And of course, the champions, of course, who is, of course, top billing? It was the French, winning 47 of the 104 simulations, 45.19% chance to lift the trophy in Germany, according to my simulations. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. As a bit of an insight into my simulation, of course, we did use the real groups, and I do appreciate the guys who did create that update for the Football Manager 2024. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I would not be able to do it, but it was a bit of a tall order, none the same. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the Euros. I'm excited for Germany potentially to really compete this time around. I'm also excited to see the likes of the French. Are they going to be as dominant as my simulation has suggested? Well, we're going to find out, of course, very, very soon. But let me know your thoughts and opinions to the results down below, and I'll look forward to seeing you back around on the channel. But until then, subscribe, smash the like, and of course, catch you later for the next one.